TWM podcast.
Hello, I am Matty Deller and welcome to the Wrestling World Report, looking at the big wide world of wrestling from Armory to Dome and all places in between. I'll introduce my co-host in just a few seconds time. Before we do that, let's get the admin out of the way. TWM podcast, bring you 6 days a week, lots of content, news, reviews and interviews, all that good stuff on Apple and Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher, Acast, TuneIn, Podbean, anywhere you get your pods. If you got us on YouTube, we are over there as well. Please subscribe, smash that like button, turn on notifications so you do not miss an episode. Got loads of fun audio and visual content coming out very, very soon, and our videos are looking very, very nice, if I do say so myself. I imagine the person editing the videos is very talented and handsome. TWM podcast, we're brought to you by We Love Sport, the fantastic app helping you find your nearest sports bar, showcasing the latest WWE pay-per-views. Obviously not the case at this current time, but once we're out the end of this rather boring, rather tedious situation, make sure you have that app in your phone so you do not miss chance to get front row at 400 of their sports bars and pubs for WWE. In the meantime, follow them on social media at We Love Sport UK and at welovesport.co. In the meantime and in between time, WrestleCrate is still open for business. Use the code TWM Wrestling for up to three items when you sign up for a monthly subscription box. Use the code TWM Wrestling at wrestlecrate.co.uk. Joining me, I've got both boys back. It's a triple threat of independent and international investigation. That made sense. It's Michael.
It's just a bit busy editing some videos.
Kayfabe, brother. And Kyle.
You got to remember what kayfabe is. It's just a different spelling of be fake.
I also love how you say international when we literally come from two places.
No, we covered Japan and Mexico, and they're American. That's technically a world title only has to be defended in two different countries, be recognised as a world title, and we're covering at least three. So we're fine. It's not too bad. How is everyone? Is everyone well?
I'm not dead.
Okay.
We're all coping somehow.
Good to know. Remember, Kyle, don't relapse.
Oh God, I forgot about that, and it's only been like a good week.
It's a joke from last Friday's podcast where me and Kyle were talking about stuff and things that don't concern this podcast, so we're going to leave it there. We've got some wrestling to talk about. I think we've got a game at the end. It's going to be fun. Let's start off. Let's go to Mexico. Fusion. We're still in Mexico for the AAA MLW Piss Fusion, or as it's commonly known, the Super Series. We open with an Injustice video hyping themselves up before their AAA World Trios title match later on. They said that 12 months ago they were being left off the show, but now they are headlining. I will say that probably one of the best things that MLW has done, and they've done a lot that's good, is the presentation of Injustice. They've made three guys that were kind of, well, in Jordan Oliver's case, a debuting talent, and two other guys that were kind of lower mid-card talent, and they have now presented them as viable, acceptable, like, main event level heels.
Well, do you remember probably 12 months ago we were looking at it going, well, Myron Reed's a guy that just does just a cutter pervert. Gatoh Brazil was walking around wearing an eye patch, and Jordan Oliver wasn't there at this point.
Yeah.
And now they're like probably the hottest act, I think, in MLW, because with Contra not being involved in this set of tapings and not really doing much on the last set of tapings, I think they've really sort of come through strong.
Yeah, they've really shown that they're like the secondary big bad.
It's got to be like them and Dynasty, where like it would be your draws, really, when you think.
Yeah, because you think they haven't really got a lot of face. Like they've got basically it's the Von Erichs. But then if you look at, like, you've got the Von Erichs...
And Davey Boy Jr.
And Davey Boy and the Hart Foundation. And then it's them four against Contra, the Dynasty, Team Filthy, and Injustice.
Yeah.
Which the balance is probably right. Not in regards of bodies and stuff, but having more heels than face stables means there's a lot more room for manoeuvre. The opening contest saw Poder del Norte, Mocha Cota Jr., Tito Santana, not that one, and Carter Brava Jr. over Black Destiny, Rayo Star, and Fantastique. Before we talk about this match, I will say the music last week that I thought Rey Scorpion and Tejano come out to, I had the wrong team. It's Poder del Norte that come out to the song that I remember, that song, an absolute banger. It's Mexican rap by Chemo the Blaxican. I did Google during the show. But this is the song. Yeah, it's an absolute banger. However, there are differing opinions on this, because I really, really like this match. Mike, you wasn't that big of a fan.
I'm going to modify a football cliche. It was a match of two halves. There were two cut scenes in this. There was one right at the very start, and then one about 60% of the way through. After the second one, this match was really good. Everything before that just didn't click for me. It just seemed like it was probably the opener of this whole show when they taped things, and it was very formulaic, and it's very typical Lucha Libre of all the moves being very set up.
This is my thing. I wrote down, like, if you like Lucha Libre, this is definitely your thing.
I do like Lucha Libre, though.
Maybe, well, the thing is, though, maybe this is very, okay, I'll change it. This is very much undercard Lucha Libre. Like, this is very much...
That's what, it's a show opener.
Yeah.
I think the thing that you guys are dancing around, it's like, when you think Lucha Libre, this is like what you'd expect. Like, it's not too flash in the pan, it's like what you see is what you get.
Yeah, it's very said. It's lower card Lucha Libre. Like, Kyle, you can be the third man in this one.
I know. When you were going on about this, you two were ranting, and I was like, "Fuck, I'm the deal breaker."
Did you enjoy this, or
personally? I'm very much on Mike's wavelength. I couldn't get into it until like about halfway through, when it became a bit more like action packed. But Mike said to me many a times, that's just like lucha pacing. It normally picks up like midway through. Then it's not for everyone. Like, some people like the high action from the beginning. I normally like spaced out stuff, but it feels like too spaced. Like, you won't get anything until like near the end.
It's one of those things of the Mexican version of a rest hold is usually a roll or a pose in the ring. So
hitting the ropes
as well. Yeah, like creating space. Poder del Norte are less lucha. We get a catapult into a chair shot, which I did enjoy. That needs to be a thing more in wrestling.
They had some really good trios moves.
They yeeted Rayo Star into the crowd. We get many dives, many nonsense, some good lucha things. Poder del Norte wins with a frog splash. I recommend watching this. In all fairness, in comparison, I was talking with Ian Oliver, who does the results for MLW with us, so I chat to him about a lot, and he did text me and finally there's a show that has two good matches on it from this tour, because I agreed, like, there's always been one good match on these Mexico shows, and there's been one match that wasn't that good or kind of took you out of it, whereas these two at least had two good matches on the show, which is commendable.
I don't know what that says for MLW, though, because we all know they tape them in blocks, but is it the way that they're putting them together? Because they could just pluck something else from like elsewhere and just put it on a different show because it works better. It might not be what followed straight after. Yeah,
like they do like chop and change the shows about, because I do agree. I doubt just before one of the final matches they had, they're going to plop in a AAA like showcase match. I wouldn't be shocked if this wasn't the opener to get the crowd into it. And also, if you didn't notice, the seats, it wasn't full, so I wouldn't be shocked if this was the opening match. Like, the crowd was a lot more full in other matches than most, but I doubt anyone would leave towards the end, because obviously one of the big matches was
it'll be
the Parks against Psycho Clown. Next week's main event.
That would have been the main event overall.
We then get Lifestyles of the Rich and Dynastic. Richard Holiday and Hammerstone are in Puerto Rico in what they called not only a really ugly yellow house, but also a super ugly yellow house. This is where Savio Vega was brought up. They basically just mocked his upbringing and then announced they'd bought the house. So then Holiday called himself Richie 2 Titles, and then said it would be a solid Airbnb, which made sense.
I'll just
not in this economy.
Yellow it was ugly.
It was Coldplay yellow.
It was 1995 King of the Ring ugly.
Hey, who are you to doubt King Mabel?
It's a deep cut.
Injustice jumped Brian Pillman Jr. after their match last week, and Pillman, they cut his hair. Pillman had enough and challenged Oliver to a hair versus hair match, but he referred to his own hair as his livelihood. Does he think MLW are going to fire him if he has his hair cut? We invested a lot of money into that mullet. You're out on your ass.
Do you reckon they've actually reanimated his dad's mullet?
This is it.
What Franken mullet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What like that episode of The Simpsons where Homer gets a hair transplant?
From
Snake.
Yeah.
What happened?
But it's the fact that this whole feud has been based off like Brian Pillman's hair currently, and it's just like, what is he, Samson?
He is. If he cut his hair off, he can't be as flying as he would be.
He's just Brian.
However, everybody shut up because it's Cooking with LA Park time.
The greatest segment in all of wrestling.
I'm telling you now, I wrote more notes for this than I did for the main event. So
that says it all. Let's be real.
The Parks Cube tell us to relax our pants as they cook us a scrumptious Mexican pork dish. They all have pennies with LA Park on, and I want it.
Yeah, I need one.
I can just imagine like you two turning up to a wrestling show wearing them.
Nothing else. And nothing at all. They wash their hands to avoid corona, add tomatoes, onions and other gimmicks. They put themselves over and mock Pagano and Psycho Clown. They add a hint of blubber to the pan to cook Super Porky. And in my opinion, hint of blubber is a new little bit of the bubbly.
Yeah.
You know what hint of blubber?
It's just lard.
Blubber should be your fucking cards username.
Hint of blubber. God. Tomorrow when we play Cards Against Humanity, I will be hint of blubber, no question. Also, that seemed like a dig, Kyle, so I might have to fight you. I will say...
it's just because you love the phrase so much. I'm not digging. If I was, you'd know.
All right. Stereotype. LA Park, I must say, he's not only a handsome man, he's an honest man, because I've never known a cooking show where he goes, this does look a bit crap now, and the steak is frozen, but keep the faith, by the end, it'll look amazing.
He wasn't wrong.
Also, my favourite bit, he pours in the garlic and goes, I put in too much garlic!
He always puts in too much garlic. God.
I will just say, in my opinion, there's never too much garlic.
LA Park said the gringos love them because whereas the Mexicans only have the length of 2 sausages, they have the length of 3. I also laughed at the phrase "put in the onions, son." Don't know why that made me laugh so much. He's like, put in the
Should be
onions,
up there
son.
with Devon, get the tables.
LA Park Jr. Put in the onion, son. It's a big.
Oh God! Can you imagine if they come out next week with a load of onions and they just do that?
They start doing a French gimmick.
We also get a big tomato, and he shouts out the kid that sold him the tomato, which is nice. Also, we did.
He has fond memories of a child in
Los Angeles,
California.
Yeah.
Well, not in himself.
Yeah, he was once a skeletal tomato salesman in LA. And then this led to me and Mike just texting each other names for cooking shows that these guys could do. Mike, do you think you had, was it Ready Steady Park?
Yeah.
And I had Parks the Chef. Which one do you prefer, Kyle?
Honestly, Parks the Chef.
Just, yeah.
I really hope that if they carry on doing this, then he just like somehow brings in like random cameos.
If Gordon Ramsay ever wants to take a break from Kitchen Nightmares, I feel like LA Park is the perfect person to take a...
Or, better idea, while Gordon Ramsay's introing chefs for Hell's Kitchen season 19, just have LA Park as one of the
Have
chefs.
all 3 of the parks on the new season of Hell's Kitchen.
Well, you did have LA Park's Kitchen Nightmares as well.
Yeah, you did. Too much... That's his thing. Instead of where's the lamb sauce... Too much garlic. We get David.
This is what this has turned into.
It's just This is the peak of wrestling in 2020. David Boy Smith spoke after his tag victory, and he was stood next to the ring where Rey Mysterio trained, and basically he called out Jacob Fatu. So he's going to hit him with the running power slam and then lock in the crossface. He sounds like Bret Hart in his promo, but not good 1997 Bret. I mean, like. Crappy 94, 95 promo, Brett.
94 needing sunglasses so his eyes aren't darting all around the place, Brett.
We talked about it a couple of weeks ago. He's very, like, what you would see WWE promo style. Like, it doesn't feel organic, like, unscripted. Whereas if you look at Injustice, it feels like pure them.
Yeah.
I could give anyone this promo and it feels like it would work.
Mance Warner then has a message for Holiday and Hammerstone saying he heard what Holiday was doing buying Savio's house, and Savio will get to him soon. But for Hammerstone, doesn't matter how big he is, because he's got a kneecap he can hit with a baseball bat, eyes he can poke out, and a face he can headbutt. We hear about the altercation from Loki, who was clearly drunk. A clearly drunk Loki turning up at the press conference. And we hear that Dan Lambert's filing a lawsuit against Loki for undisclosed damages. Oh my god, they announced the team that's facing the Parks next week, and it's a unique one.
Well, obviously we knew Psycho Clown was going to be in this. Basically Mexican John Cena.
After 4 weeks, if they'd pulled out Psycho Clown, what would we have done?
Savio, it would have been like...
They would have cancelled MLW.
They could have done the No Way Out in Texas and announced Savio Vega. The greatest mystery partner of all time.
Well, I guess that we've been getting one of these people in there because they advertised them a couple of weeks back.
What, Psychosis? Nino D. Hamburguesa.
Cowboy Nino.
Yeah, because I know that he obviously split away from Big Mummy because of Veneer. Was it Veneer? I can't remember. Like there was, I think it was during Triple Mania last year. They had the big storyline. We discussed it on this very pod actually about the storyline of breaking him up. But Psycho Clown, Psychosis, and Nino D. Hamburguesa is a strange trio.
It's almost like they've just picked a team from the wrestlers that are left.
What was that weird team from Triple Mania? Wasn't it like Cody, Cain Velasquez, and someone? That really weird team was like the weirdest 6-man tag team of all time.
Was it Cody, Cain Velasquez, and Killer Cross on the other side? It
might have been Cody, Cain Velasquez, and it might have been Psycho Clown. Maybe. I can't remember.
Psycho Clown just like comes up with like all these weird like teams, but I guarantee you next week will probably be like, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, it will be.
It's just, this gives a run for that team's money because of weirdest team ever. Injustice did a Jeff Jarrett throwing tortillas in the crowd. They're just not drunk. Injustice, however, are living their best life. They would like next level shit out. I'm all for John Oliver running the ropes, then laying on the floor and just cross chopping some guys in the front row. They were just gunning for these 4 Mexican lads in the front row, and it was brilliant.
As someone who's seen him do that in real life, it's just fucking hysterical. He does it out of nowhere.
I love Jordan Oliver. And then we got the AAA 6-man tag team titles. El Hijo del Vikingo, Mr. C's Jr. and Octagon Jr. going over Injustice. This was fantastic. But it was expected. We knew this match was going to be brilliant. So
Vikingo's the one guy that if whoever gets him a visa first to work in America is going to make a shit ton of money.
Yeah, he even balls up the finish, and it was still cool as fuck.
Exactly.
We can't go through all the spots in this. Just watch it. The biggest compliment we can pay to Injustice is they kept up with 3 of Mexico's best high flyers. I'll little know that because I did this up because I was confused by Octagon Jr. Octagon Jr. is the former Golden Magic, so I guess he's changed his gimmick in AAA.
Again.
10 sexy points. Who can tell me who the original Octagon Jr. was?
Not me, but side note, I've Googled and I found out it was actually Psycho Clown on that Triple Mania.
Oh, it was? Okay, cool, thank you. They're in WWE. I'll give you that clue. The former Octagon Jr.
Randy Orton.
It wasn't Randy Orton. Kalisto.
It's clearly Charlotte Flair.
It was Charlotte Flair. No, it was Kalisto. He was Octagon Jr. for like 5
Dexter
seconds.
Loomis.
What, before he was Samurai?
The Velveteen Dream.
Stop naming people.
Tyler Bate.
Like, why are you just naming people who could possibly
Timothy Thatcher.
Okay, not that one.
He's naming people. No. Timothy Thatcher was Mr. Cease. Junior.
Sorry, yeah.
No, while he was...
I heard Timothy Thatcher was going to be the new Sin Cara.
Sin Cara Tress. They're going to bring back like the Villanos. While he was Samurai Del Sol in the US, he was Octagon Jr. in AAA. Fun little fact.
Uh-huh.
Koto gets the piss chopped out of him. I then get the best move ever, which is they yeet Kota Brazil into the air, and then Vikingo catches him in midair with a top rope drop kick, which was great. That
hit hard as well.
It did. It looked like that proper winded him.
Some of these things that they're doing but don't look like they should work, but somehow do.
We get a triple team Grand Amplitude for a near fall. The backbreaker senton combo. Viking and Misty's do a duo Fosbury, and then Octagon does a Tornillo. We get a trio of 450s, but Koa gets the knees up for a near fall. Dives ahoy. Myron is a mental case and does a running cutter to the outside. Not on mats, it's concrete on the outside.
Cutter pervert.
We get a triple team submission, but then Pillman appears and spits beer in Koto's face. Distraction, super kicks. Koto goes for a chair. Pillman intercepts again. More dives. Koto gets big, 100-mile-an-hour knees in the corner. Vikingo goes for his inverted 450, but doesn't rotate enough and just has an inverted senton that AJ Kirsch keeps calling an inverted 630. No, we can't do that because then we have to confirm that he's a mega not a coward, so we're not having that. It was an
he's a Viking, so he's technically not a coward anyway.
Yeah, but he needs to do an inverted 630 to prove he's not a mega coward, confirmed. But yeah, inverted senton for the win. Like I said, bookended by 2 decent to great 6-man tag matches, and it had LA Park cooking on it. What more do you want?
Segment of the year.
TWM podcasts are brought to you by We Love Sport, the fantastic app finding you your nearest sports bar showing the latest WWE pay-per-views. We Love Sport has over 400 of the best sports bars and pubs in the UK at your fingertips and allows you to book front row seats, giving you the best views of the action. You can also check out what sports are being shown over the next 7 days, making sure you don't miss a second of the action. Download the We Love Sport app on the App Store or Google Play Store. Follow We Love Sport on all social media platforms at We Love Sport UK and check out welovesport.co.
Gatoh move experience. Do a barrel roll. As we get a Rocky number to open from Mizumori and Saki. Someone asks... Emmy asks someone to open the show cheerfully. So, of course, Mei Suruga, comes in. She's just got back from China. But this was in 2019, so this won't lead to mass infection and death. We open with...
now we know where the coronavirus started.
Yeah, it's all Mei Suruga. It's all Mei Suruga's fault.
Yep.
Mitsuru Kono goes over Anchamu. We get quick pin falls from Anchamu, so Kono just kicks her in the gut and then throws her so hard the Gatoh move poster falls off the wall in the most extreme spot we've seen in Gatoh move history.
We're getting vandalism now.
It's a madness. Kono pulls pigtails into a near fall, and then Kono ties Anchamu in knots and tries a window suplex, but then Anchamu does leg scissors, which Kono counters into a powerbomb. Boston Crab, then into a half Crabbington, but she gets the edge. Anchamu hits an inside cradle for a near fall, camel clutch, and then a lovely roll into an armbar. Anchamu does her weird cheerleader stretch thing that is... Someone said they don't understand how that works. It might have been Kyle, or it might have been Mike, I can't remember.
It was me with a weird sideway leg.
Yeah, it's a cheerleader.
I get how it works, but it shouldn't work.
Yeah, it's a cheerleader stretch, from what I...
There's a lot...
Look, I'm old with bad knees. There's
a lot of stuff that we're saying that shouldn't work, but has worked on this podcast about what is...
This is true. Hip attack near fall, Kono boot, and then official woman suplex for the win. It was alright. Then we get
opener.
Masa Takanashi over Mei Suruga. Mei bows because China. Takanashi walks off, which is like the karate thing. Fast scraps to open. Takanashi with a long headlock, full Nelson. Mei does a roll up for a near fall. Mei does all the arm ringers and a mega punch. And all I could think of was the thing from the Matrix where she's just like, I know kung fu because she's been to China. Then Masa gets a chair and nearly tries to impale Suruga, but then gets bulldog on it. She gets cocky.
Genuinely, my favourite part of the whole fucking match is just this.
Oh, what, the fighting with the chair?
Yeah, it's the fact that he swings it high, then goes low, and she jumps over it, and then gets the advantage to bulldog him onto it. It's brilliantly done.
It was some Jackie Chan shit, which I loved. Takanashi works Mei's legs, but then she fights back with a big slam and drives him into the wall, and it's a window arm drag from the near fall. Lot of screaming. Masa goes back to the leg, and it was weird seeing a figure four at a wrestling show with no one wooing.
Yeah.
Mei goes for a screaming twisting pin, but then he gets counted into a sharpshooter for the win. Then we get to the main event. That was really fun as well. We get to Yuna Missouri, Saki, and Balian Ake going over Riho, Emi Sakura, and Obihiro Saka. Oh my god, Emi Sakura lost a main event on her own show. for the first time in 4 shows.
Genuinely, when I was watching this, I was going to message you, Matty, and be like, is it just like natural that Emi Sakura's always in the main event and always wins, and then this happened?
Yeah, she said she's...
You say that, but hasn't Rio been in the main event of like every single show?
Yes,
besides the first one.
Yeah, basically,
like,
Rio and Emi Sakura are the Hogan and Bischoff of Gatoh Move.
Oh god, then who's the Dixie Carter?
Antonio Honda.
Especially after last week.
Aki's team have matching shirts. They should win. And I wrote down, because it's a Gatoh main event, they won't. Emi also sort of refuses to wear the funky glasses. They all want to shake hands, but Emi doesn't because she's a shit. Rio and Mizumori does fast graps, pinfalls and escapes ahoy. Aki then nearly pinned Sayaka quick in a chop battle that Aki wins, and we get a big prey arm bringer. Emi and Saki then just run into each other over and over again. We need to get like a chicken fight Superman battle, but Rio's team, they're too small, they can't lift the other person up. Emi does a surfboard on Aki. Aki then drop kicks the shit out of Emi Sakura. Like, that was a clean drop kick with not a lot of place. Yeah, that he got his shit in. Then we get a big crossbody, and then Rio hits a crossbody for a near fall. Aki hits a big backbreaker on Rio, and they work her over. Mizumori Boston Crab gets to the corner. Rio does a roll up for a near fall. Emi tries a crab, but Mizu's too powerful. We then get an Alabama slam into the wall. Jesus Christ.
Shade of a young Cody Rhodes there.
I told you, it's always like during like these matches, like Emi and Riho always end up taking some of the rougher spots.
And then we get a rough spin kick, and I was wrote down, Joshi! Saki and Sayaka batter each other, all 6 get in. We get a triple suplex spot, but then Mizumori be like, this spot empty, yeet! And just knocks everyone out the way. Sayaka goes to the world's most extra roll-up for an air fall, catapult splash by Aki, and then assisted suplex. Oh my god, Emi Sakura's team lost. This was a fun one. It was quite quick, the matches, but they were all very, very good and very, very fun. But never mind that. Who's going to tell me what happened at Tea Time? Anyone? Did anyone watch Tea Time?
I watched Tea Time.
I watched it as well, but I really wasn't paying attention to it, apart from the fact that I think the moment that stuck out for me was Masa Takanashi speaking about how all of the senpais, when he was starting originally, basically wouldn't give him the time of day, but there was this one who he got the time of day from, like it was 12 o'clock, but basically got respect from him, and this guy says to him, when one day I want to have a match with you, and he's getting that match.
Oh, that's lovely. It was, yeah.
It's wholesome.
And that man was wholesome Hulk Hogan. Anything else did you miss from Tea Time, Michael?
They didn't say what the tea was this week, but they did actually tell us. Well, the referee's name is Sane-chan, so we learned something from that.
There we go.
Oh, it was Cena, or was it like Sena?
No, it kept jumping around on the translation. It did.
No, because I watched directly till the end of it, and like what I didn't realise is, one, they sing again. They have like an ending song as well. And also, when they're like greeting the audience, like saying goodbye to them, it like gives you exactly like what their names are. Like it comes up on the most poorly edited iMovie format ever. I
was going to say my highlight of it is the fact that the end of it is edited on iMovie because it's literally the default text on iMovie, which is the impact font. Yeah, impact font, and then the shadow behind it. It's wonderfully shit house.
TWM Podcasts have joined forces with WrestleCrate, the original and best monthly theme, monthly wrestling subscription service to bring you a fantastic deal. If you use the code TWM Wrestling when you sign up to a monthly subscription at WrestleCrate.co.uk, you will receive a free item in your first month's box. Then, if you stay for another month, you'll get a second free item. And then, if you stay for a third month, you guessed it, we'll give you a third free item. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. WrestleCrate brings you the best swag from the biggest companies and names in the wrestling world. We're talking t-shirts, photos, pins, DVDs, vinyl figures, and loads more from WWE, Progress, Shakara, NXT, Fight Club Pro, and loads more. That's WrestleCrate.co.uk and use the code TWM Wrestling for up to free items, all thanks to WrestleCrate and TWM.
Episode 3 of We Are Stardom focuses on the debut of Giulia and her issues with the GOAT, Hana Kimura. But we see like the press conference where Giulia gets signed and Hana Kimura is there in business attire. And even in Japanese, you could tell when they were talking about each other that there was some world-class shade going on between these two. To fill you in, I did some research on Giulia. Did you know that Giulia was born in England?
I did not know that.
She was born in London to Japanese and Italian parents.
She
is multicultural.
Yeah, which makes sense that her name is like Giulia, which is a very Italian name. She moved from Ice Ribbon to Stardom in 2019. It was a very big signing. And if you can't tell from this, a lot of fans are upset that Giulia's getting overpushed in Stardom. I think she won the Rookie of Stardom tournament. Oh, not Rookie Stardom tournament. She won the Cinderella tournament, sorry. I believe in 2019 it would have been. A lot of people were very upset that it wasn't other people. Tam, in particular.
Tam Snooker.
Yeah. Tamina's been working in disguise. Is it Tam Nakano, Kyle? Is that her name?
Fucking.
I can't remember what her name. I know it's Tam something, but I can't think of her last name. But we get Nakano, yeah. Tam, yeah.
Bull sister.
Yes. Then we get Giulia over Hazuki. Hazuki was the one that recently retired, wasn't it?
Retired.
Yeah,
yes.
It was her and Kagetsu, wasn't it? They started off as graps and then ended up as both women just brawling in the crowd as Hazuki twats her with a chair. Back in the ring, both of them continue to batter each other. Hazuki trapped Giulia in a crossface. Hazuki is a springboard dropkick and then nearly kills her with a rope hung codebreaker for a near fall. Giulia then grabs a hold brother and it's a suplex and a boot for a near fall. Giulia counters a sloppy La Magistral cradle sloppily for a near fall. Gloria hits this mad driver. Giulia hits this mad driver for a near fall and then she puts on a bow and arrow. The ref calls for a bell. This was okay. Giulia's not that good. Hazuki is fine, but Giulia is not that great. And the start of this match generally seemed like Hazuki was pissed off she had to wrestle Giulia and tried to batter her outside of the ring. Yeah.
I enjoyed the finish, though. More people need to use bow and arrows.
Yes.
It was brutal, fair play.
It was a good move. Like, she seems to have one good move. Maybe she just needs more time, but yeah. She calls out Hana...
Gotta get them reps in.
She calls out Hana Kimura, who she forearms, and then Kimura just spits in her face. And they literally just pull each other's hair and walk around for about 5 miles outside to the arena.
Is it just me who thought that this could have been on, like, World Star?
I wrote it down. They pull hair, cut a promo, yell at each other, Kimura spits at her again, and then I wrote down, I feel as if they legit don't like each other. And I feel like that might have been a thing, because this seemed like they both legitimately got pissed off. But I did get the feeling, and you don't want to do comparisons, because it's not fair to compare one wrestler to another, because they're different in their own things. But in regards to thing, did anyone get a feel that Hana Kimura is very much like Stardom's version of Naito?
Yeah,
like the anti-establishment fan favourite that probably should be.
It feels it, and when you think of the whole like Tokyo Cyber Squad and like LIJ, like it kind of feels like they would work really well together.
I would love if they did some sort of mixed. Like, they'd never do it if they did some sort of mixed tag thing, because it would be.
You just want the mixed match challenge, but
I want New Japan Stardom mixed match challenge, mainly because I want Hana Kimura and Naito up against Okada and Iwatani. It would be levels.
Oh yeah, but we'd have to put it with B and Will though.
You have B and Will. Who else would you? Who would you put Giulia with? Who's massively overpushed in New Japan?
The weird thing is, partly.
No, you'd put it with Taichi, wouldn't you?
The weird thing is, like when you listed B and Will, until then it was like, oh yeah, this is a normal mixed match challenge. This is now the Lucha Forever Mr. and Mrs. Tournament.
Can we not put Giulia with? I know Giulia would be perfect with Gatoh, wouldn't she?
Nah, Taichi.
Taichi's not overpushed.
I thought you should have put him like.
No, he's not overpushed, but it's just like the sleaze and the like. People kind of hate him.
I would have said if you put her with Jave, and a lot of people will be like,
"That's actually Put Giulia with Jay White. Yeah. That makes perfect sense." Who would you put with Yarn? Oh, yeah, Martina with Yarno. That would make sense, wouldn't it?
You could put Jamie and Carl Fredericks together.
Yeah, that's true. Jamie Hayter and Carl Fredericks. Who else? I'm trying to think of other good Stardom.
Tam and Hiromu.
Yeah.
Can we put Evil and Stroppy Goth Girl? I can't remember her name.
Oh, what? Which one? Andres Miyagi or the other one from Cyber Squad? Is it
the one that we saw on last week's?
Isn't there
Andres Miyagi?
There's like what's the ghost girl name? She wrestled in Stardom as well.
Oh, she wrestled on.
As well as Sendai. Iga,
yeah. Evil and Iga. Let's have that, please. Anyway, we see highlights of our fave goth, Andres Miyagi versus Kagetsu. This must be based off of last week. We just highlights. We see Kagetsu kicking out of a pile driver. She boards and missed Miyagi and then hits a DVD for the win.
She went full Leo Rush.
She did. We get a look at the Rookie of Stardom tournament. And we see basically highlights of the final, which was Saya Kamitani over Seiya Aida. It's highlights again. We see them two go back and forth, exchanging drop kicks. Aida goes for like this mad pin. Kamitani misses moonsault, needs, and a shooting star. And then Aida does a mad pinfall thing for a near fall. Kamitani hits a trio of drop kicks for a near fall, but then hits her running shooting star press for the win. Kamitani gets her medal and her trophy as 90s music plays, and we see the next week we're going to see Mayu Iwatani against Kagetsu, which probably is going to be a very, very good match. But yeah, it was very interesting. I felt like I had to go and do research into Giulia because they were putting a lot of stuff behind her, like the press conference, putting her in immediately with someone like Hazuki, and then having a feud with Hana Kimura. They seem to be putting a lot of stuff behind her. And I remember her name from being one of the four in the Wrestle Kingdom pre-show, like the dark match they had, the Stardom showcase match, Wrestle Kingdom in January. And I do remember a lot of people not being happy that she was in that compared to other people. I think we even might have said, like, where's... Because B wasn't in that, was she? B Priestley wasn't in that.
Yeah, we listed off a lot of names, like, and I've, like, you know that, like, we're all in lockdown currently. Like, we've been sharing, like, all of these, like, make your own faction, like, kind of, like, things to the group chat. There was a Stardom one that I think the official Stardom page shared, and Giulia was one of the top, like the more expensive picks, and then a lot of people were annoyed about that as well. Yeah,
it's one of those things of... Normally, if I read the internet, people are like, this person's overpushed, this person doesn't deserve this and that. You kind of reserve your own judgment, but this might be one of those rare cases where the internet might be right and Stardom might be overpushing someone.
There was a lot of resentment when Bushiroad bought Stardom because she was one that was named as somebody that they were going to push, and there were a few. The names now are just not in my head. There was a few current fan favourites.
I know Tam Nakano was one of them. I know that she was one of them that doesn't get a fair dues. But it was one of those ones. I remember reading.
Jungle Kiona.
Oh, Jungle Kiona as well. Yeah, she
was one that they're basically like, just no, we don't care about you anymore.
Natsu as well.
Oh, what? That's Martina's tag partner, isn't it?
Yeah, there were loads of people that we were all like, what the hell? Why aren't they in this?
Why not spread? I said, why not spread the gospel of the TWM squad with some of our lovely merch over at Teespring? We have t-shirts for all shapes and sizes, hoodies, sweatshirts, mugs, stickers, and loads more. Also, just for listening to this podcast, you can get 10% off your order. I said using the code podcast. That's podcast. Once again, podcast in the checkout for 10% off at teespring.com/stores/TWM-wrestling-merch. That's right. Praise. Testify.
Gonna round things off with a game. Mike, you're doing the game this week. What have you done?
Well, we've gone and visited our friends at cagematch.net again. And much like a few weeks ago when we picked higher or lower, we're going to take the actual rating list, not the extremely random list that we had. So these are the wrestlers that are rated out of 10 on the cagematch.net ranking.
It's almost as if I didn't press the right button and got a random order based on how many votes it got rather than...
I somehow found your list, but I don't know how you got to it.
Yeah.
It was a very old list, wasn't it?
Cocaine's a hell of a
I'm just going to say
It seems much more accurate.
I'm just going to say I would much rather live in a world where Vicky Guerrero is ranked the 100th best wrestler.
So we're going with the same rules. Someone starts and they've got a name. Was it 5 in a row we did, or was it 3 in a row?
It was 3.
3 in a row.
Because otherwise we'll be here until COVID's over.
Right. So, Kyle, you can go. You can start off. Go on.
Right. So what?
Well, Mike will give you the base card.
If Kyle's going to start, Matty, give me a number.
Between 1 and 100, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense. 69. Nice.
Okay. So, at number 69, we have Cesaro.
You'd say nice.
Nice.
There we go. Kyle?
69, Swiss.
Oh, no.
And then... So, your first person, we're going to go with... Keiji Muto. Or...
The Great
Is he
Muta.
higher or lower? Lower. Yeah, Keiji Muto.
Is he higher or Lota Ibushi?
I'm gonna go higher because he's a lot more like, well, a lot of like people like on Cage Match I found tend to like rank the Japanese wrestlers higher. So I'm gonna go for that.
So you're saying that he is higher up the list than Cesaro?
Yeah, so he would be better
Closer
ranked.
to number 1.
He would be better ranked.
You're actually incorrect. As I said, Cesaro is 69. Keiji Muto is 78.
Hot damn. Maybe his rating's gone down just from some of the matches he's had in the last few years where his mobility isn't as much. Yeah, well, actually, you mentioned it, have you noticed that basically All Japan have been debuting one by one every Wrestle One wrestler as a mystery partner for the last 6 weeks?
You got to spread them out.
It's brilliant. Every time I read it online, it's like, this person has debuted. I know the former Wrestle One. Of course, they're Wrestle One. Yes, I know they are. Right, so I've got Great Muta, who is my next card.
So the next person is The Rock.
The Rock. Is he higher or lower than the Great Muta? I'm going to say higher.
So we are saying that The Rock is closer to number 1.
Yes.
It's a higher ranking, lower number. If that's how this game works.
Yeah, higher ranking.
You are incorrect. The Rock is number 80 with Keiji Muto at 78.
Why did you just sound like you've just forgotten what you put in the oven and then opened it?
Oh, quiche! Which is going to be my new name on Cards Against Humanity tomorrow.
Oh, quiche.
Ooh, quiche.
Blubbery quiche. That should be the card's username.
Oh, sorry, I've just come across a really random listing on here. Bret Hart.
Best there is, best there was, best there ever will be. Not in my opinion, but to many. I'll say higher.
Bret the Hitman Hart, number 47. So, 1 to Kyle.
But now we're at that weird mid-stage where there's literally so many names that it could go. Fuck.
Tetsuya Naito.
I don't want this to be wrong, mainly because I don't want to live in a world where Naito is not on a list higher than Bret Hart, because Naito is my spirit animal. So I'm going to say higher.
Tetsuya Naito comes in at number 27.
Yay!
So that's 2.
That shows, again, cage match is very similar to Dave Meltzer, very current New Japan bias. Because the fact that The Rock and Keiji Muto are lower down than Tetsuya Naito is probably accurate modern day, but in the grand scheme of things, are you sure about that, John Cena gif?
You sent me the voice clip of that the other day.
I did. This is true.
Let's go with Chris Hero.
Is he on 2? Would this give him the win?
It would.
He is on 2.
Hot damn.
Weirdly, as well known as Hero is, and the fact that like everyone always basically takes up umbrage with WWE releasing him not just once but now twice, despite what he's done in PWG, despite the fact that he was, I want to say he was a finalist in Strong Style, or was he semi-finalist?
I love Carl's monologues while he's trying to decide his answer.
No, I've got my answer. It's just I'm trying to fill time, because if I win, then this has been tiny as fuck.
Oh, my wrestling name. Oh.
What, tiny as fuck?
Yeah. Don't want to talk about it.
Oh, that's weird. That's my porn name.
We should network anyway. Kyle,
I was going to say, is it a 46-minute long video, Mike?
References, Kyle. Before we get ourselves in trouble, pick your answer.
I was going to say lower, the fact, because what did you say Naito was, 27?
Tetsuya Naito is number 27 on the list.
Yeah, I was going to say lower, no matter what, because I just feel he's not of, the New Japan, kind of breed, and the fact that, he's gone to WWE twice now, and a lot of people will not be watching the products he's been on.
I don't know about that one.
Chris Hero comes in at number 75. Kyle wins.
Oh, I generally thought Chris Hero might be a little bit higher.
Can I just point out that in a world where, let's pick some near around the hundreds, Go Shiozaki, Randy Savage, Sami Zayn, Nigel McGuinness. These are all in the 1980s. Keiji Muto, as you mentioned.
Who's the weirdest one? Who's the weirdest?
Who's the weirdest?
Ranking in at number 49, so he's in the top half, is Dario Cueto.
What?
It's all those unique opportunities he's been giving out.
His unique opportunity is to be on Cage Match.
Yeah, he's been giving out unique opportunities for everyone to bump up his Cage Match ranking. That's what's happened.
To go even stranger, getting in at number 29, and these are the names he's immediately above. So 30, El Santo, Mexican legend, one of the best Mexican wrestlers of all time. 31, Luthez, nothing needs to be said about him. Minoru Suzuki at 32, Mayu Iwatani at 33, Tomohiro Ishii at 34, Kota Ibushi at 35, AJ Styles at 36, Kurt Angle at 37. But number 29, AEW's own Rick Knox.
Yeah, fair enough.
What, as in referee Rick Knox?
Yeah, as in he's a referee that does flip dives and super kicks.
I mean, it's not even Bryce Eilenberg.
Who are you to doubt Rick Knox?
Fucking Bill Apter's on there.
Oh, what?
What wrestlers? Name 3 wrestlers that are lower than Bill Apter.
Alright, so Bill Apter is... Yeah, so Bill Apter's 76, right? So Keiji Muto is. The Rock is... Negro Casas, Kevin Owens, Jun Akiyama, Mick Foley,
it's like Kevin
Austin
Kelly,
Aries, Nigel McGuinness. Kevin Kelly's not on there. Pentagon Jr. is lower.
Kelly Klein,
Gatoh.
I can't even say their names. Get it? That curse still ails me. But yeah, Bill Apter used to do commentary on some random wrestling on the wrestling.
Do I now
channel.
have to Google the name Bill Apter just so I'm filled in?
wrestling historian. So I need to know. Really.
Used to be a photographer. Used to do a lot of things in magazines.
Does he have a wiki page? That's the question.
He should do.
A wiki page.
Yeah, a wiki page. Anyway, this has been the Wrestling World Report. If you want to get in touch with us, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, @TWRSL. Subscribe to our podcast, Apple and Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Acast, TuneIn, Podbean, YouTube. We're starting a brand new series in 2 weeks' time called Anything But Wrestling. It's where we interview your favourite wrestlers about anything but that. Could be music, film, TV. It's a great chance for you to learn a little bit more about the person outside those ropes. We've got Millie McKenzie, we've got Yestin Reese, we've got Mariah May, we've got Vicky Haskins. Hulk
Hogan.
We haven't got Hulk Hogan. We have got a literal superhero coming up. We have got Shane Helms, which is fun. That'll be coming out very, very soon on Anything But Wrestling, a little side project to go alongside TWM Talks and our pay-per-view reviews. If you're a WWE inclined, we have got a Money in the Bank review coming up on Monday. If you want to get across all our wrestling stuff at twm.news, reviews, articles, editorials, all that stuff at twm.news. Social media, Kyle.
My handle's back to normal now, at that Kyle James.
Mike's isn't, so he's not going to tell us what it is. So he'll tell us a random social media, I imagine.
Nah, not this week.
Just follow.
Go follow at Ollie Ringside, because he agrees that the Papa John's garlic sauce is the best sauce.
Okay, there you go. I'm a man.
Oh, you're getting into Jade's debate about it earlier.
It's not a debate, really.
We're at TW Wrestle. We're going to go chat about garlic sauce now. Thank you very much for listening. Wash your hands. We love you all. Thank you. Bye.